So we got the moon in motherfucking Aquarius. You already know what time it is, baby. It's fixed season. Shout out to all my Leos, feel me? All my Prios. And of course, when we have this full moon in natures, this means full uniqueness, full weirdness, full originality, full structure, because of course we got Saturn in Aquarius too. So it's going to be, this is pretty much a heavy full moon right here. Things can get very catastrophic, especially if you're not fully protected, especially if you're out here lollygagging. Your ass can get killed just by having far out thinking thoughts come into your space, your world, your reality, and of course start blemishing with your ideas, making you do things out of the box, thinking outside the box, thinking that it was cool with you. Your ass get caught up into a situation or a scenario, your ass gonna get trapped, feel me? And when you get trapped, ain't no coming back, baby. Your ass gonna get snapped, feel me? Of course, your ass gonna have to search for another reality. And of course, if you was lost into this reality, it's only gonna become more dense and hard heaviness that's gonna fall in your gut. And of course, that's where your spirit gonna remember. Like, oh damn, that's the gut feeling that I was basically rectified in. I'm gonna have to rectify my way into another body to basically be reciprocated to these energies. But be very careful of these energies, feel me? So with this energy right here, with this full moon with Aquarius, feel me? Everybody need to be reacting and responding to release mode, aka this is a time to sit back, relax, be calm, cool, collective. Don't get washed up under the perspectives of what you have to do, what you should do, what you're trying to manifest. That shit needed to basically be examined a few weeks ago. That's the whole purpose of manifestation, baby. When that moon is done raining, you need to basically start focusing metaphysically and emotionally how you're going to plant your seed when the new moon gets here. Which means that when the moon is new, it's the time to fulfill areas where it is unfulfilled. Because of course, the moon is your emotions, your macabre, and how you feel about situations and scenarios, and how you can like move and nurture and move around in your perspective. And of course, this is very important to you, for you to never neglect your moon. Forget about your sun sign. Your sun sign will not be existence if you do not have your moon. And of course, your moon is what's connecting the basically tubes, the YouTube, and of course, the GameCube. And of course, that's where it's being connected at. So if you're not fully connected with your emotional nature, you're going to be neglecting this. And of course, you're going to feel this energy of being unsure about yourself because your inner world is not fulfilled. And of course, this is where you need to actually start paying attention to how you feel about things, question things. Because if you're not paying attention to your feelings and the emotions, then your feelings and emotions are going to be very nasty and foggy. And of course, it's going to be very dirty. And you don't want things to get dirty, because if you got a dirty water, a dirty feeling, a dirty vibe, that's going to put you off your tides. And your tides is not going to be able to actually ride very smooth. For me, it's not going to be able to actually go very smooth and still. Your boat, your ark, your Noah's Ark is not going to ride very well. Your Noah's Ark is going to destroy because you're not paying attention to it. You're not catering to it. And of course, you're not giving it an emotional fulfillment. You're allowing this shit to basically get hit by every goddamn wave, by every weather, by every feeling, by every vibe. And of course, these vibes, you do not want to be near those tides. Because if you ain't create your own tide, if you ain't experience your own tide, you're going to experience somebody else's tide. And some tides can be low, some tides can be high. And if these tides is high and your tide is underneath that tide, what's going to happen? You're going to experience a flat tide, which means the air, and of course, the emotional air that was needed to basically fulfill and have strength to have that tire strong and hard, it's not going to be able to actually back up you with this position now. You're going to actually need backup now. You're going to need help, because now your ass is somewhere in the ocean lost. And of course, you don't want to get lost into that perspective, because this is where your ass can be in the wrong place, wrong space, being at the wrong time. Because of course, money is time. Time is money. So if you're not maintaining your time, then you ain't going to be able to actually grow from it. And of course, this is the whole purpose of the other side of Aquarius, baby. Saturn is right there. You got Uranus right here. And of course, you got Neptune, you got Pluto. But of course, we got Pluto in Capricorn. So it's going to be a whole lot of power control issues what's going on to this goddamn world. You see what's going on to this world. This world as we speak, this shit, they system is over with. So basically, they're going to be needing you to fall for their bullshit and get lost into their rapture. And this is where you never want to get lost into nobody's rapture. You're supposed to create your own rapture, form your own alliance where everybody can agree to the terms and conditions of having their own sense and their own perspective on things and coming together and basically making sure everything is protected. Because if you ain't protected out here, then baby, you're going to get smushed. You're going to get destroyed. And of course, it ain't very hard to know that shit, because the only thing where life gets hard is using your shit up here for shit that ain't need to be predicated towards structure in the area. Sometimes this shit just need to be cleared. Sometimes you just need to basically allow that mentality or mental funk to basically just release what don't belong into your mentality, baby. And of course, your mentalities is very important, because what's on your mind is what you're creating. And of course, if you're creating bad shit, then you're going to have bad kids. You're going to have bad diapers all over the fucking place, because you don't know how to control your mentalities. You don't know how to control your little babies, your little kids, your little mental sperm cells, mentality sperm cells. And of course, you need to shoot your shot. And if you ain't shooting your shot in the right way, you're going to be shooting your shot in the wrong way. And of course, when you shoot your shot in the wrong way, you're going to kill and shoot an innocent bystander. And when we're talking about an innocent bystander, we're talking about an individual that was communicating with you. And of course, you was prejudging that motherfucker, and you made it seem like this person was bad to be in your space and location. Now what happens? This person is dead. This person got hit with your mentalities, because your mind and the way you think and analyze is fucked up. And of course, if it's fucked up, then that means you're not coming down, you're not getting balanced, and you're not getting stable. And of course, you're not grounding yourself. You don't know how to ground yourself. You don't know how to ground your ideas. This is where things start to play into perspectives of you don't know how to ground your goddamn self. And if your ass ain't in earth, your ass ain't in nature, basically grounding your goddamn self, or at least experiencing elements where you can actually take a break from certain elements and not basically getting washed up into too many elements, then this is where your ass get taken off course. And when you get taken off course, baby, then what happens? Everything that you're working on is basically not working. It's not rolling. It's not going. Everything got stopped, feel me? The damn rabbit is not running anymore. The rabbit got tired. You got tired. And of course, the rabbit is there to basically help you to make sure shit is going into its favors. But goddamn, the rabbit can do so goddamn much. You the human, you should supposed to be knowing this shit already. So it's like, goddamn, if you don't know this shit by now, how the fuck can I help you? All I can do is keep running on this goddamn thing and making sure that whatever you're doing and producing is coming in here to basically get pushed out to the world. So, baby, if you don't know your world, if you don't know what's going on with yourself right now, you need to dig deeper, do some soul searching. And, of course, you need to be real in these areas, because if you ain't real in certain areas, you become unreal. And, of course, if you're unreal, who the fuck in the universe, or who the fuck, as you claim to be with God, how come God can work with you? God can't work with you. God can't talk with you. God can't get next to you. He's only within you into what you perceive. And of course, you're not going to see a God coming out of the skies to come save your ass. So get out of that illusion. That's a fucking joke. That's a game. Who do you know that died, that you know now, came back to the same flesh to come save, or came back into the world to come experience? Nobody. So these goddamn stories and shit that you got lost into, these were stories that was made up to basically get your mind pushed into areas where you think that somebody coming to save you, so that if you keep thinking like this, you may think that these things will happen one day. Ain't nobody coming to save your ass. And understand and understand, if somebody was coming to save your ass, that don't mean that this body is going to where you wanted to basically go towards to, because what's going on in this body, how this body is seen and perceived, this body is staying right here. And of course, it's going to get buried underneath the seeds or the seed. But either way you look at it, you only can take with your soul with you. And of course, if you don't know shit about your soul, then that means your soul is going to be possessed. Your soul is going to go for a ride. And of course, you don't want to be going to rides and shit, getting on certain roller coasters, because you never know how these roller coasters going to play out. It's one thing that you may be experiencing what's going on with roller coasters, but everybody experiences is different. And of course, if you don't know how to control yourself, that means you're not controlling your movement. So you're going to be basically carried on by the goddamn hair, or carried on by the goddamn hand, And your ass gonna get on that goddamn roller coaster, and you're gonna be rolling up, rolling up, rolling up. And of course, that coaster, baby, is not gonna be something fun that you endure. Unless you get very brave, and of course, you got a lot of passion within you. If you ain't got that within you, then baby, you wasting your motherfucking time. And of course, you need to work on your goddamn self. And of course, self and climbing is very important. And of course, if you don't know about the self-realization, you need to basically self-reflect and self-analyze on how you can make sure everything is going into the way you want it to basically be created. Because you created this world. You created this reality of how you see and perspect things. So never get lost into what other people's faces and things is telling you. It's one thing they can be telling you this, they can be telling you that. But of course, baby, if you don't know how to tell time within yourself, have your own way, your own outlook on controlling the time, then baby, you're going to go back in time like Back to the Future. And you don't want to go back to the future. Your spirit hate that shit. And if your ass getting lost back into the future, imagine how long it's going to take for you to basically get forward through the future. Because of course, you're moving back, you're not moving forward. You're basically vibrating low because, of course, you're getting lost in certain areas. And this ain't nothing wrong with basically experiencing shit for what it truly is. But, of course, if your ass getting lost into the other worlds and other spectrums of not actually expanding through this shit and experience it for your own mankind or your own womankind, then motherfucker, what is you doing? You have a problem on your hands that you can't deal with. And, of course, if you can't deal with your problems, if you can't deal with what's going on, then, of course, what's going to happen is the universe ain't going to be able to actually put some more cards on your table. The cards that you already got on your table, you're going to have to basically make ends meet with these because you ain't got the right spirit, you ain't got the right mentality, you ain't got the right mind, you ain't got the right soul. So, baby, you ain't going to be glowing. So if your ass ain't glowing, it's an issue, it's a problem. And of course, you don't want issues, you don't want problems. You want the issues and the problems that you do have to get resolved and not have any issues behind the spectrum and shit. So this is a circumstance situation where if you ain't taking care of business, if you ain't standing on business because the full moon's in Aquarius and you got Saturn in this motherfucker, you ain't standing on motherfucking business, then you got something to basically really look towards to, which means release. Sometimes you may have a whole lot of pent up energy in you that you didn't release. Sometimes you gotta let that motherfucker out. Release that shit, feel me? Learn how to allow these shits to basically be released from your area. Because the moment you allow shit to basically slide, the moment you allow shit to keep building inside of you, then you're gonna be building a whole lot of bacteria. Now, of course, that bacteria does not have no brain and no motherfucking name. So that bacteria gonna go as it please. And of course, you ain't gonna be pleased by it because your ass gonna get sick by it. Of course, you're gonna get the sickle cell. You're gonna get lost. You're gonna go to hell because, of course, you're feeling down. You're feeling depressed. So where you think you are if you're sick and feeling that actual energy that's basically playing into your perspective? You're going deeply down somewhere to get pressed, motherfucker. Pressed like the ironing board. So put your clothes up there. I'm gonna press you. Basically, that's what's going on when it comes to your emotional natures. You don't know what's going on in that area. You need to question things. Because when you start questioning shit and not going with what everybody's saying or with what everybody motherfucking doing, then motherfucker, you put yourself in the area of having your own secluded space and location. So this way you can roam free and not get trapped by other people's endeavors and how they do things in the world. Because motherfuckers are slaves. And of course, you don't want to be a mental slave with these people. These people, they don't know themselves for a hole in the motherfucking wall. So that's why the government treat these motherfuckers like mosquitoes. Your ass get close, you get hit. And of course, this is what's going on right now. So with this full moon in Aquarius, you're going to be receiving a whole lot of full energies when it comes to humanitarian natures, rebellious natures, and what to do and what not to do. Because also, this is a perspective where everybody just needs to be on board and be on point with this, what's going on. Because you don't know what's going on, then you're going to figure it out in the hard way. You never want to figure out things on the hard way. You want to figure out things in a lighter spectrum so you can have a whole lot of time to prepare and get yourself situated mentally, physically, and emotionally. Of course, if you're not up to tack with these areas. And of course, this is going to play out into positions in areas where things may not flow or go well on how you look at it because you have a whole lot of projects, a whole lot of shit going on, and if you don't know how to handle these pressures and handle these energies or get this shit done, how the fuck are you going to be able to move around and basically work on another project? You're going to be basically playing left, playing right, and of course, this is going to mentally drain you and put you in areas where you're going to feel like you ain't shit, but you are the shit. You need to believe in that shit, but if you don't believe in it, then of course, how would it be able to actually grow in your backyard or your front yard or inside of you to basically get pushed outside of you? Got to be very aware and very careful, especially what's going on with these energies. All zodiac signs be protected and safe and sound. Everybody out there, but real shit, be safe and sound in this motherfucker.